Hi, welcome to the Woodstock Exchange. This is where I spend most of my days trying to make sense of my business. I'm about to start my day. I've got my coffee on. Let's go. It all started when I was a student, and I noticed that the student market, there's so much value in the student market, but nobody seems to be capturing that value. In high school, I used to sell school shoes, but it was a specific brand called Bronx, and we used to have brown school shoes because I went to Afrikaans rugby school, and I used to go to the factory shop and buy these shoes, obviously take orders from the guys in my class, buy the shoes and sell it to my friends, to the students, and that was kind of the first point of dealing or working with what feels like a business. I used to work at a nightclub, and one of the guys who used to come to the nightclub asked me to help him with a fashion show, and after the fashion show he said, "Don't you want to come to my business and come speak?" We decided to start a small part of a business within his business that sold hoodies and t-shirts to students. We did quite well in the first year, so much so that at the end of the first year we decided to take some money, fly to Hong Kong, buy a piece of a factory to make the material and ship the material down to assembly in Cape Town, and we continued supplying the students with these garments for the following year. Yappo is a mobile payment app that allows for students to use their wallet as their phone. No, other way around. Can I do it again?
Yeah, go for it.
Yappo is a mobile payment app that allows for students to use their phone as their wallet. Essentially, they can pay into store, buy airtime, buy electricity, pay their friends back, all at no cost. With this, we can analyze the student consumer as one market as to what they spend, when they spend, how much they spend, and find more ways to make it easier to spend. So everywhere you can spend on Yappo, you get a discount. For the stores, they can track and see the sales that come from the student market, so they can further incentivize students to spend more at their stores. Starting this business has taught me resilience. Just keep going. When things are bad, just keep going. When things are good, just keep going. The challenges throughout business, they take you on a roller coaster. So I felt like I've been on a roller coaster of emotions, either flaring up or completely down. And at the core of all of it, it's just, you just have to keep going and not give up. There have been quite a few moments where I just thought I want to stop. Trying to figure out why am I doing what I'm doing. At those moments it makes no sense, but I kind of needed those moments to be completely down and sit in that being down, and then realize there's one positive thing that's going to push me up again. And in those moments when it pushes me up again, it suddenly feels like it resets my energy to keep going again. What inspires me is that little moment when somebody realizes their value. It's kind of like there's a sparkle in their eyes where they have this "I can do" attitude. It kind of tunes into being entrepreneurs quite closely, in that for any entrepreneur, what you're doing essentially is you're seeing an opportunity, you're creating value in it, and you're making it sustainable. When someone speaks through an idea, and the thing that inspires me the most is listening to people speak through an idea that they come up with, and then meet them 6 months later and they've actually done something with it. They've turned that idea into action. So I remember when I decided to start a business, I thought it would be smart of me to tell my parents about it and let them know that I'm not going to become an engineer. And I wrote out a letter, "Dear Mommy, dear Daddy," and on a Sunday evening, randomly sometime in September, just before I started the business, I went to Port Elizabeth and at the dining room table sat them down and I gave them each the letter. And the essence of the letter essentially was me explaining my story and my thinking around the route I'm going to choose and what I want to make of my life. And the reaction was quite weird and pivotal for me at this point, because it was a thing that gave me impetus to keep going. So the reaction was negative, and it was at that moment where I realized I either have to do this with or without their support. So I chose to carry on. I booked my flight the next morning, and I came back to Cape Town. I remember crying quite a lot on the plane, but I needed to let go of the strongholds that I felt my parents had on blocking me becoming what I wanted to become. Through that, it forced me to find the right support that I needed. So the big lesson for me through this was, because I did not have the support when I started, I understand the value of the support being there. So I will in any moment go out of my way to make sure that if there's a young entrepreneur needing support, I would offer that immediately. I don't particularly regard myself as a techie. I don't know much about technology, but I kind of have understanding around how it works. I think we're living in a digital age. Being online, if you're not online, you don't exist. It's that simple. The interesting bit about South Africa is we have a broad base of problems, or you can see it as opportunities. What makes it easy to be a startup business or tech business in South Africa is the fact that we have first world infrastructure with third world opportunities. So the thing between that solves that is technology or innovation. And so what we're doing, or what I'm trying to do, is use technology or use innovation to solve problems or create solutions for needs. I think entrepreneurs have to be careful with this because it's easy to start something, but you should be more mindful around the fact that as much as you have a business and a brand, you the brand actually. So there needs to be a thinking around yourself and what image you want to create. So what I was quite adamant about is wherever there was something entrepreneurial, an event, a function, a talk, a something, I was there. I wanted to be seen as a young entrepreneur. So in any entrepreneurial circles, I am there. That's on a personal capacity. On a business capacity, there are kind of two shortcuts. Choose a name that's easy to pronounce, preferably one with 2 or 3 syllables, and spend money on designing a good graphic. It works, that's what people remember, that's what they see. Yeah. I am Stuart from Studentology, and I am Youngpreneur.